Hi all, halfway astray here, and still at the aqueduct water hole. And as I'm speaking, there's some ducks that are sliding by serenely on the surface of the lake. It's not a lake. I don't know what these things are. Here in the suburbs, you go places and find large bodies of water. They're not lakes. It's unclear where they come from. I'm not a civil engineer, so I don't know what this is. It's a harbor. It's some sort of suburban harbor. Perhaps they transact trade here with some of the other harbors in neighboring suburbs. They have ships that go back and forth, maybe submarines perhaps go underwater and they take supplies back and forth. I really don't know. I don't understand. It's probably just a drainage ditch. This is a large decorative drainage ditch, and we have some ducks that are going by nicely, and that's all just in time for us to declutter a book that was very easy to let go of. In fact, Autobiography of Yogi. So it was probably about 4 or 5 years ago that I finally started meditating. It was something I'd always thought about doing. It's something I had threatened to do for a long time, but it wasn't until about 3 or 4 years ago that I started meditating. And that came about because, as perhaps we'll see a theme in these videos as we go, I was listening to a podcast. And on the podcast, the guy was talking about meditation and had mentioned that he had come to meditation because he had read this amazing book that changed his life. And that book was Autobiography of a Yogi. So after starting to do meditation myself and beginning my own meditation practice, I decided to go ahead and go out and get this book and read it. Well, one of the things you notice right away is that it's long. This book is about 500 pages long. And let me tell you what happens when you first start reading it. You're gonna get to the introduction, and it's gonna start talking about some very metaphysical stuff. And by very metaphysical, I mean you're gonna run into stories of these yoga practitioners from back in the day who are able to do things like make their bodies as strong as a plank of wood, make it so that they don't have to eat or drink anymore. And the claims that come along with that are basically that these men and women became so well versed in yoga and so powerful in their practice of yoga that they were essentially able to become yoga superheroes, is kind of what it boils down to. So, that's a lot to swallow in the first 25 pages of a book, but there I was trying to swallow it because I had started doing meditation myself and I was seeing some nice benefits from it. I felt like it was helping me focus more on the things that I was doing throughout the day. I was less distracted. I felt like my general level of calm and well-being was going up gradually each day. And so there was benefits coming out of it. I thought, what a good idea to go ahead and dig into it more and see if I can learn even more about it. Well, this is a book that once I got about 20 or 30 pages in, I realized that I was never going to finish this book because it was just asking me to swallow way too many things that me being, sort of just a rational person, I could never swallow this stuff. The other thing is I didn't come to yoga so that I could become some sort of yoga Jedi. I mean, that'd be cool. It sounds like it'd be pretty fun to be a yoga Jedi and fly around with my yoga powers and maybe even shoot yoga fireballs like in Street Fighter, or stretch my limbs to extreme lengths like Dalsim in Street Fighter. This was one of those purchases that almost right away I entered into a conflict with myself, like, oh, I really probably need to just take this back. I probably need to just take this back to the store because I don't think I buy this and I'm probably not gonna finish it. But at the same time, there was some part of me that was really into yoga and was still very interested in learning more about it. So I kept telling myself, well, maybe if I just get through kind of the wacky stuff, then it'll get into the actual practice elements of it and I'll learn more about the practice of it and my practice will improve. But yeah, I couldn't get past the wacky stuff to get to that part. It very well may be that those things are in here, but I'm probably never gonna find out because I don't think I'm ever gonna read this. So that's all to say, I still like yoga. I still do yoga and I still meditate. In fact, I really like meditation. I don't do meditation enough. I wish I was doing it every day like I was before. Sometimes I find it's difficult to make the time for it just because, kids and jobs and all that stuff. and eating food, you know, going to the bathroom, going to sleep. There's a lot of stuff you have to do in a day that's not meditation. So, but it is something I'd very much like to incorporate into my life every day. I was gonna point out the ducks and end the video by talking about the ducks, but there aren't any more ducks. Oh, there's an airplane. There's an airplane up there.